Hackers. We've all heard of hackers. People who hack your email. People who hack websites, governments, elections. Even your friends can be hackers. Leave your Facebook unattended, you can get fricked. Yeah, I see it's happened to you. But there's another breed of hacker out there, and full disclosure, I'm one of them, that want to hack the ultimate prize. We want to hack your head. And we want three things. We want to know what you're thinking, we want to manipulate your perspective of the world, and we want to influence your next thoughts and your next actions. I call it the battle for your brain. And in the battle for your brain, truth is a matter of perspective. So who am I? I'm Alex Blackwood, magician, mind reader, mentalist, as well as performing at private parties, clubs, and theaters. I'm a corporate consultant and speaker. And when I was asked to speak here, I was told my perspective would be valued because I use magic to manipulate the truth. Well, that's not strictly true. In fact, using magic to manipulating the truth is crude and lacks finesse. I prefer to leave the truth alone. Instead, I prefer to manipulate your perspective of the truth. And what I really like to do is to give different people in the same room different perspectives of the same truth at the same time, because that allows me to create much more elegant, much more complex, and much more believable stories. Because in the battle for your brain, truth is a matter of perspective. Now let's try something. The girl in the white t-shirt, can you raise your right hand in the air, please? Excellent. Okay, now I appreciate what I've said so far has been quite abstract, and maybe it's time for a more practical example. But to illustrate my point, could you raise your right hand in the air, please? And so to illustrate my point, I will need a volunteer. Oh, you've got your hand in the air. Please give a volunteer a big round of applause. She comes on stage. Thank you very much. Can you tell everybody in a very loud voice your name?
Valera.
One more time?
Valera.
Valera. This is Valera. Okay. Valera, what I would like you to do right now is to think of somebody that you know that's not here now. Somebody random, somebody that you haven't thought about in weeks. Have you got somebody in your mind? Don't say anything out loud, but just let me know if you've got somebody in mind. Yep? Okay, now I'd like you to change your mind. Think of somebody else. Have you got somebody else in mind? Excellent. And now change your mind once more. And change your mind a few times. But in 5 seconds from now, I want you to keep changing, but in 5 seconds from now, I want you to settle on your final choice. Okay? And when you've done that, just raise your right hand in the air so everybody knows that you've done that. The other right hand. You've got your final choice in your mind. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. You're doing a great job, by the way. Isn't she doing great? She's doing good. Okay, relax. Okay, what I'd like you to do is please just picture the first name of this person. And imagine all the letters just right in front of you, stretched across here. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Okay, great. And what I'd like you to do is reach out and pick a letter in the middle of the name. Have you got a letter in mind? I get the feeling that you thought of one letter and then changed your mind to another letter, maybe it changed back. No, you got one in mind? Okay. Okay. I'm seeing, is there a H in the middle of the letter? There is. Okay. Okay. Is this a close friend of yours? It is. Okay. What I'd like you to do is just to imagine in your mind, don't say anything out loud, but in your mind, I'd like you to imagine that you're introducing me to this person. Don't say anything out loud, but in your mind, I'd like you to say, Alex, that's my name. Alex, I'd like you to meet my friend. I believe it's female friend, is that correct? I'd like you to meet my friend, she's a girl, her name is, and don't say anything out loud, but in your mind, I want you just to shout her name at me. Shout it in your mind. Are you doing that right now? Okay, shout it a little louder in your mind. Alex, I want you to meet my friend, her name is Michelle?
Yeah.
Is that right? Nice. But you know what's a little strange? Is that I got that name in my mind, but I also got another name in my mind. Do you have another name in your mind that you were thinking of earlier?
No.
Maybe you thought of somebody else earlier? Don't say anything. I get the feeling that you thought of somebody and that you didn't feel very comfortable with that person.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was somebody, and I think you wouldn't feel happy if I mentioned that person's name out loud here, would you? Okay, I got that feeling. Well, let me try this. Can you hold that for a moment? I'm not going to say anything out loud because I wouldn't like to. I wouldn't like to say anything because I wouldn't like to embarrass you. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write something down here. I'm going to show it only to you.
Okay.
So you had another name in your mind that you changed your mind from earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just going to show this to you. You don't need to tell anybody what the name is. But can you just tell us, is that the name that you had in mind? Mm-hmm. It is. That you changed your mind from. Doesn't matter. That's something between me and her. Guys, please, a huge round of applause. Now, when we started, I said that we wanted to do three things. One was to know what you're thinking. And with Valera's help, I think we just achieved that. Okay, it's okay, guys. It's all right. Can you imagine meeting somebody that you just met and telling them incredibly personal things about themselves? Things that you couldn't possibly know? Well, I do that every day. And how do I do it? Well, the exact details are beyond the scope of this talk. But I will say this. I manipulate your perspective of the truth. And I do it using very, very old tools. Analog tools. Words, my voice, and psychology. The good news is that my intentions are honorable. To quote James Randi, I'm an honest liar. I greet you as an entertainer, I say I will do the impossible, and I do it. But there are other people out there whose intentions are less honorable. Of course, they're the fake psychics and charlatans, pyramid schemes, but there are also people who are more the fabric of our society. People with businesses, people with media institutions, people who lead armies and lead nations, who have teams, entire teams of people working for them to hack your head and battle for your brain. These people who want to plant seeds in your head, who want to make you buy a product, vote a certain way, go to war, distract you here while the real agenda is down here. These people are everywhere. In fact, it's not that difficult to manipulate the truth because the truth is relative. The exact same words can mean totally different things to different people. And that reminds me of one of my heroes, Albert Einstein. He changed our view, not of even the truth, but of the entire universe. And one of my favorite stories about Einstein, he was once asked to explain relativity. And instead of taking his chalk out and writing complex equations, he told a story. He said, imagine this. He said, you place your hand on a hot stove for a minute. It seems like an hour. You talk to a pretty girl for an hour. It seems like a minute. He said, that's relativity. Such a beautiful explanation. You see, in Einstein's example, he took one constant, one truth, time, and manipulated two people's perspective, one through pain, one through pleasure, and ended up with two totally different experiences. So I'd like to try and recreate that now, not with time, but with physical touch. And I would like to try and give two people different truths and see if we can recreate with them the same experience. And to do that, I'm going to need two volunteers. And you, sir, would you mind joining me on stage? And you, would you mind joining me on stage as well? Yes. Give them a huge round of applause. Thank you. Do you mind standing here? Okay, and no, you can stand here. And can you guys face each other for a moment? And look into each other's eyes. Okay. If you want to have a giggle, get it all out now, okay? Get it all out. Yeah? You feel like giggling? Yeah, okay. Look into each other's eyes. And I would like you to try to imagine what the other person is thinking and what the other person is feeling. It might seem strange, but please, just give it a try. Okay. Now, we're not going to have any romance here, guys, so we're going to break this up. Can you both please take a seat? You can sit here, and you can sit here. Wonderful. Put your feet together, flat on the floor. And in a moment, keep your knees together and your hands. Yeah, perfect. And in a moment, we're going to try an experiment. And what I want you to do is be very aware of any feelings that you have. Remember what you feel, where you feel it, and how many times. Physical feelings and emotional feelings. And also what we're going to do is I want you guys to in a moment, I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. And when I get to 3, I'd like you to close your eyes. And when I get to 1, I'd like you to let your head fall forward. Is that clear? Okay, we'll start with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. And we're going to do the same with you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Excellent. Okay. And please keep your eyes closed. Now, with your right hand, please raise your right hand if you felt a tap or taps. Please raise your right hand if you felt a tap or taps. Did you feel something? If you felt a tap or taps on your shoulder, please raise your right hand. Okay, excellent. Okay, now you're doing good. Okay, we're going to try that again. Remember what you feel and where you feel it. And again, please, if you felt a tap or taps, raise your right hand. Okay, put your hand down. If you felt something on your shoulder, please raise your right hand again and point to the shoulder where you felt it. Excellent. Okay, and put your hands down. And with the fingers of your right hand, please indicate how many times you felt it. Okay, this guy didn't, he's fallen asleep, I think. Okay, you're doing a great job. Guys, we're going to try that again. Please remember what it is that you feel. Okay? Again, please raise your right hand if you just felt something. Excellent. And again, please, with your right hand, point to the foot where you felt it. Yeah. Okay. And with your right hand, please indicate with your fingers how many times you felt it. We have a little confusion here. Awesome. Okay, we're going to count from 1 to 5. And when I get to 3, I'd like you to raise your head. And when I get to 5, I'd like to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a big deep breath in and out. You did a great job. Now, yes or no, did you feel me touch you?
Yeah, I did.
And you felt me touch you. In the first example, did I touch her at any point?
No.
And in the second example, did I touch him at any point? No. So I know, it feels strange. You did a great job. So in Einstein's example, he took the one constant of time and he manipulated people's perspective and gave them different experiences. Here, we took 2 different physical sensations and we created the appearance that they had the exact same experience. And when I came up here, I said I was going to do 3 things. The second was to manipulate your perspective of the world. And with these 2 wonderful people, I think we just did that. So please give them a huge round of applause. Now, we talk about a post-truth world. Alternative facts seem to be replacing facts. Anonymous websites spread opinions around the world like wildfire. We live in social media echo chambers where we cherry-pick the facts that we want to support the opinions we already have and then share those with our friends that share our opinions. It can seem like alternative facts and post-truth is a very, very modern concept. But I disagree. I think it's as old as time. We once believed the world was flat. We were once told that the sun orbited the earth long after there was clear evidence to disprove it. We were told that witches were responsible for bad harvests. We were told to throw the witches in the lake, and if they sank and died, they were innocent, and if they survived, they were guilty and should be killed anyway. Nonsense, lies without logic. There has always been somebody telling us how we should act and how we should think to achieve their own agenda. Always throughout history. But I believe today is less post-truth world than it ever has been, because now for the first time in history, we have the ability within seconds to fact-check anything we want, and that tool is usually in our pocket. Yes, there's a lot of junk out there, and we have to wade through it. It can take time, and the answers we find might not be very pleasant. We may find things that we didn't really want to know. They might disagree with what our peers think, disagree with what our friends think. We might find things that disagree with what our parents or leaders want us to believe. You've all seen very emotional speeches here today about slavery, about the supply chain for your clothing. You can take that on board, or you can choose to ignore an inconvenient truth and buy the next shiny thing that comes along. The path you take is your decision. But today, right now, we're going to take a new path together, a random path. And we are actually going to use this tool. Is there somebody in the front row that has an iPhone with them that can help me? Yeah, here. Here? Can you join me and bring your iPhone, please? Woo! Thank you. What's your name?
Timur.
Timur, okay. And does your iPhone have a passcode on it?
Yeah.
It does, okay. And how many digits is the passcode?
6.
6. Okay, so 6 digits stand between me and all of your information. I guess your Facebook, your contacts, your banking, perhaps. 6 digits. There we go. We got it open. Just got the calculator up. Okay. So we are going to create a truth, a reality here in real time. And here's what I'd like you to do. Can you type in a number between 1 and 10? Okay. Press multiply. Okay. And we're all going to do this together. Can you give us a number between 1 and 10? 7. Can you type 7? Multiply. Can you give us a number between 1 and 10? 3. Multiply. Can you type in a 2-digit number? Multiply. I've got a number. Can you press equals? Excellent. So what have we got? A number. A 5-digit number. Can you call it out for everybody? Let me get you a microphone. Can you say it out loud?
47017.
47017. A number, unambiguous. It's a truth and a reality in itself. Here's your phone. 47017. It's very similar to other numbers, but is totally unique in an infinite universe. Can you hold that for a moment, please? We'll come back to that. Thank you. You see, hackers are out there. Hackers are out there hacking your head and battling for your brain. Some, like me, do it for entertainment. Most desire power at any cost. So, maintain your defenses. Educate yourself. Update your mental firewall. Remove old and outdated thoughts, just as you would remove and delete data from your computer. Question your leader's intentions. Question your own intentions. Question your own actions and feelings and decisions, and make sure those are really your own free will and are not emotions created by a speech or a Facebook meme or even influenced by a charming magician on a stage. Make sure somebody has not planted a thought in your head, planned 10 steps ahead, and then got you to reach a conclusion that feels like free will, but was actually always inevitable. Now, I said when I came up here that we would do 3 things. The last was to influence your next thoughts and actions. And over the last few minutes, we took some very random thoughts and actions from you in numbers, and we turned them into a bigger number, a very specific number, this number, similar to other numbers, but totally unique in an infinite universe. I want to leave you with a thought. There are people out there that plant seeds in your head. There are people out there that plan 10 steps ahead, that get you to reach a conclusion that feels like free will, but was actually always inevitable. I know that because I am one of them. And I'd like you to remember that in the battle for your brain, truth is a matter of perspective. I'm Alex Blackwood. Thank you very much.